Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed.
Under Brian's leadership, there were many accomplishments. Now, after all these years of hard work, the museum finally opened 2 years ago. And so we say congratulations from all of us to Brian, our President Emeritus.
Darlings, I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at the North Shore Historical Society's 2nd anniversary gala. And yes, it's a cocktail party. It's a fabulous event, and I'm here with the chair of the event, and she's going to introduce herself to the camera.
I'm Rita Crosby. I'm a board member, former vice president of the North Shore Historical Museum. And
yes, tell my audience about this event this evening.
This event is to celebrate the 2nd anniversary since we've been open, and also to honor Brian Mercadante, who has been the president of our organization for 17 years.
Wow.
17 years ago, he got the idea to turn this building into a museum. It was a courthouse, and it was built in 1907. And there's a jail cell downstairs. You see there's a courtroom here. It hadn't been used for many years. It was empty and decaying and deteriorating quite badly. So once we had the charter to make it into a museum, we had to raise the money to restore it to the way it looked in 1907. And that's what we did. And
over 100 years?
Over 100 years old is this building. And then we restored it to look the way it did then, because it had changed over the years, and now it's opened as a museum for 2 years.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely, and how fitting to make this a government building into a museum. And of course, the North Shore Historical Society. Now, when was it established? You said, tell my audience the year it was established.
1997.
1997.
Right, but the museum didn't open until 2 years ago.
And now this is your 2nd anniversary.
This is the 2nd anniversary of the year we opened as a museum. We got a charter first, and then we had to raise the money. We got some grant money, and we had to raise some money with different events in order to have the money to fix the inside and the outside of the building.
Lovely, lovely. Now, why did you get involved in all of this?
Well, I've been living in this community for 30 years and very involved in many aspects of Glen Cove and the surrounding area. I'm very interested in history, particularly the old mansions. And
Oh, they're just gorgeous.
so when I heard about this, I was very interested in getting involved, and I've been involved for at least 15 years. So this.
Now, the Great Gatsby, that house that he lived in was on Long Island. Where was that house located?
Well, it was fictitious,
Of course,
but
it was
supposed to be Great Neck.
It was Great Neck.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it might have been maybe Glen Cove, you know.
Well, it could have been. I mean, we still have a lot of wonderful mansions here. It could have been that F. Scott Fitzgerald visited J.P. Morgan's mansion, Woolworth's mansion, any of the Pratt mansions, and got his inspiration from seeing the wonderful mansions we have in this area.
Now, you're in character right now.
Yes, I'm supposed to be Mrs. Vanderbilt.
I love it. And your jewelry is exquisite, very beautiful.
Thank you so much.
It actually looks like you're wearing a museum piece, your necklace.
It's costume.
But it looks so, I'm telling you, it looks authentic. It really does. I thought it was a museum piece. I would like you to tell my audience where we could go to find out more information about the North Shore Historical Society Museum.
It's museum. It's not society, it's museum. And if you go to northshorehistoricalmuseum.org, that's our website. And you can find out all about us. We have this exhibit on now, which is at an end. We'll be getting a new exhibit in a few weeks. And our exhibits are changing. We have lecture series. We have some wonderful events here. We've had theater. We did The Few Good Men because it's a play set in a courtroom. We did also Gilbert and Sullivan Trial by Jury because that's set in a courtroom. I don't know if you knew that the movie North by Northwest was filmed here.
Was it really?
Partially here in the courtroom scenes. It was filmed right here in this courtroom, and the jail cell downstairs was also part of that movie, and Cary Grant was here in this.
How fascinating.
We showed the movie last year on the 55th anniversary of its filming.
Wonderful, wonderful. Tell my audience one more time the website.
North Shore Historical Museum, all one word, .org.
Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. Don't go away yet. We'll be back in a moment, darlings, with more interviews right here at the North Shore Historical Museum's event. Keep watching. Pink Champagne Kisses. Welcome back, darlings. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at the North Shore Historical Museum. And I'm here with this very, very prominent character, and he's going to introduce himself to the camera.
I'm J.P. Morgan Jr.
My goodness, look at you in your costume, your top hat. I love the hat. I wear hats like this, by the
Real
way.
thing from London.
Is it really?
Only
This
the
is a beautiful costume. Where did you get this costume?
Well, I should say in London, but actually the internet had something to do with it.
Now, you're all dressed up for a very important reason. Tell my audience why you're dressed in this costume as J.P. Morgan.
Well, as I'm sure others have said, this is the second anniversary of this museum. We've come a long way. There's a video I put together over there that goes over the last 2 years.
You produced this video that I'm seeing behind me?
That's right.
Is it on the internet? Is it on YouTube?
It'll probably be on our website,
But it's not on YouTube.
not on YouTube.
Well, you need to get that on YouTube because I will download it and put it in my little story tonight.
Well, we'll see. Okay. Yeah.
Now, how did you become involved in the North Shore Historical Museum?
Well, for myself, I am a board member of the museum.
Introduce yourself to me.
I'm Barry Rivadue. I've been a board member for at least 6 or 7 years. I think it all began when I went to CW Post. I didn't know much about the North Shore. And CW Post is made up of 3 former estates. And that began an interest that has only continued since.
Wonderful.
So,
You live here in Glen Cove?
I always tell people I'm a foreigner. I'm from Wantagh.
you really? But you love it here.
Yes, in fact, my license plate sums up the Gold Coast in 8 letters. Can you imagine what those 8 letters are? West Egg. Does that ring a bell? That's from The Great Gatsby. West Egg was where Gatsby lived. And
That really, I asked the young lady here before, and she said that the original house from the fictitious story was supposed to be in Great Neck. Is that true?
Probably half true. Unfortunately, it was torn down, as have been many mansions.
Really? So the house that supposedly the Great Gatsby was originally, I mean, it's a fictitious story.
Even Beacon Towers was another place that was an inspiration.
Modeled after their particular residence.
Yeah, that type of, a blending of that type of grand living. But unfortunately, these places are missing, are gone. And as you may have heard in the newspapers, even Winfield caught fire the other day. Absolute shame. Irreplaceable workmanship.
They were truly palaces. They really were.
The marble staircase, I believe, cost $2 million, and this was in 1916. Can you imagine that kind of money on a marble staircase?
Oh my God.
Yeah, at least that survived the fire. Yeah.
You think we'll ever see that ever happen again? Will we ever see grand mansions like that being built?
They are around. If you have Google Earth, you'd be amazed. Some of the estates, the one that's on the market now for $38 million, I think that sort of is on par with the over-the-top kind of living that some earlier people had. Now, of course, different architecture, everything like that, but you have some pretty expensive places still around. So the Gold Coast still survives, but in a different form.
In a different way. Tell my audience where we can go to find out more information about the North Shore Historical Museum.
Google North Shore Museum, North Shore Historical Museum, and it should bring you to our website. And we have presentations coming up. We'll always have presentations. And
events, right?
And events, such as this one. Wonderful food, too. We always make sure.
A wonderful cocktail party.
Good food is always essential to an event like this. And we're very appreciative of people who, especially on a cold night like this, they come out and show their support.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful interview. And give me a kiss goodbye.
And I like your hat.
And don't go away yet. And we'll be back in a moment, darling. Some more interviews right here at the North Shore Historical Museum cocktail party. Big champagne kisses.
Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm your bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.